Alright, hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Social. In this video, we guys will be integrating the authentication backend that we have developed so far with our front end. Right, so if you have not followed me in my previous tutorial, kindly follow me there. So you will be getting an idea about what the things that we have done so far. So for a small tidbit, under our entire social application, we have created the following authentication controller, under which we have the following methods for creating some new account and also for logging in under our current account. Right, so we have connected our entire, that is, backend with our database of Postgres. Right, so what I will do, first of all, if you see here, I have some boilerplate code for my Flutter application, and under my boilerplate application, it has nothing but simply a small view of our login view which contains nothing. Right, so what we will do, we will create some boilerplate code for today for understanding how the login flow and sign up flow will be happening under our application. So first thing first, what we can do, under my scaffold, here I will be having here a new body to be a container. Right, so let me have a small, so here I will be creating a small form. Under that form, we will be like creating some small text fields and also some buttons. And under my button, let's have a new child as well. So here I can have a new child to be a text for login purpose. Right, and on pressing over it, nothing shall be happening for now. So let's give it a null one. And under my color, let's have a color to it for my material button. So here let's have a new color. So here under colors, let's have colors of red. It doesn't matter for now. So I have an entire login view. So what I will be doing, I will be starting my emulator first of all. Let's start our pixel. Let's make this thing here. Okay, this thing is up and loading. Okay, this is some boilerplate thing that I have done for Supabase. That is Supabase, whatever you spell it. So the following tutorial will be up and ready in some time. But for now, let's go with our social. So I can press F5 to debug everything over to my application. Let's wait for it. Until it's loading, let's go back under our backend. And under my backend, let's see how are the responses we will be getting from our controller. So here from my controller, I will be getting a response of data for data. And under this case, I can only write a single data because JavaScript will be automatically manipulating the same thing everywhere. So we can go at the top and here I have everything. Alright, we are good to go. Let's wait for it. Awesome. So our application up and loading. Let's wait for it for a while. Awesome. So we have some boilerplate code here. So what I can do, I can go at the top and I am telling you that the UI might not be that great because I am not great at developing some UIs. Still, I will try my best to write some awesome UI. So here let's have a title of login and our view. Right. Also, we shall be requiring some action for a button. So it will be it will be colored one. Let's have an empty action for it. It will be colored. Right. So this will be our boilerplate code for login view, and we shall do the same for our sign up view. So here under my authentication folder, I will be getting a new file known as signup.views.dart. Easy. So here let's have the same thing, but here let's have our sign up view. Right. So under my sign up thing, I need one more controller, that is my name controller. So here let's have our name controller. Right, and similarly I shall be requiring here a text field having a spacing. So here let's have a name controller and also it should be having enter name. Easy. So now I need to write here some boilerplate thing. So here after a material button, what I can do, I can have a size box having a larger size. So here let's have a size box and here I can have a text button that is available under a new Flutter version, that is after Flutter 2.0. So here on pressing over it, nothing shall be happening for now. But under my child, I can have a new text to be new sign up. If you are a new user, you can sign up, right? And here on tapping over it, we shall be navigate to our next screen. So for navigator, what I can do, under my library, I will be creating a folder called app, and under this, I will be creating a subfolder called routes, right? And under my routes, I will be creating a folder known as, that is a file known as app.routes.dart. Right, now what I will do, I will be using some navigator 2.0 things, that is some named routes. So here we can have a name routes. So for this purpose, I can have a final constant new string, right, which are not requiring a constant. Here let's remove constant, and here I can say login route, and it should be having some value, let's say login. Right, let's copy the same thing and paste. So here let's have a sign up view, right, and here at the last let's have our home route. Right. So here let's have a sign up, and our home will be having no path, that is only slash. Right, and after this I will be having a mapping between all the routes. So here let's have a routes. It will be a new map, and under my map what I can do, I can say login route to be having a pairing with a context, and the context will be referring to a new view which is a login view. Easy. Now you can copy the same old context from this side, paste it one more time, and here just to guess it right, it will be a sign up view. Right, let's have the same name here of sign up route. Right, so once I have done this, I can go under my main.dart file, and here as you can see, I have my home to be a login view. So here I can have my initial route instead of that login view to be a login route, and also it will be having the mapping of routes to be routes. Right, let's wait for it. Okay, null value, let's press Ctrl and S. Okay, so let's press or restart one more time. Alright, so the error is gone. So the small error of null value check, no issue in that. Okay, so now what we can do, once I got everything, and on tapping over it, we should be navigate to our sign up view. So for that purpose, I can say navigator dot of the context, and here from the context, I can say push to the named route of sign up route. So let's use it. So here on tapping over it, you can see I'm getting navigated to my next screen. So here let's have a sign up view. Right, it will be a sign up view, and also I don't need a leading icon. So here what I can do, I can say leading apply to false, that is automatically imply leading to false. Right, so what I can do here, I can fill my entire data, that is create a new account. So here let's have a sign up thing. Right, now I can do the same thing here of text button. So here let's have, okay, not here, but after this, a text button having a size box of 60, and here let's have a new route of login route. Right, and here old, that is you can write any sort of thing, right? So here I can only write a login one. So here after tapping over it, we are getting navigated to our login view, and here sign up view. Right, so now we need to integrate our API. Right, so for that purpose, first of all I need to go back under my library folder and create a new folder called core, and under this a folder known as API. Right, under my API folder I can create a new file known as authentication.api.dart. Right, this will be my base API class. It will be containing some methods related to HTTP. So here I can go under my POSPay.yaml file. Right, I have zero dependency. So here first of all let's have a package of HTTP, and also the state management will be provider. So here I can say provider. Let's press Ctrl and S. Awesome, so everything is uploaded. Now here I can do, I can say import HTTP as in the form of HTTP variable. Right, so here first of all let's create a new class known as authentication API. Now what I can do, I can say a final client. So here I can say final client. Alright, client should be equal to HTTP under calling the following method of client, and after this I can create a method for like signing up or logging up. So here I can use a create new user method. Right, so it will be a future method. Now here I can say sign up method, it will be more precise to say it, sign up, and under this it will be requiring some arguments, which will be first of all a string, will be name of the user, and it also require a string which will be email of the user, and finally a new string, and finally one more argument of password. How can we forget a password? Right, so this will be our entire case. Let's have a synchronous mark, and we are good to go. So here I have my sign up method. Right, so what I'll do, first of all I can go back under my app routes, and here I can say api.routes.dart. Right, it will be containing a new class having a name of API routes. It will be containing a single file. So here I can say final base URL will be equal to some value, right, and the value will be the value of localhost. Right, now here we need to use the particular localhost to our emulator, so we need to do some different thing. So under our base URL I will be having a following URL of 10.0.0.2.2, and after this we need to add your port. So here I will be adding my port. So to do that, first of all let's go over to our terminal. Right, let's start up our server. Right, so our port is server is working over 8000, so I can add the same port here. Easy, so this will be the following port. So now what I will do, I will be accessing the particular base URL. Right, after having the following base URL, we are also using the particular route. Right, so for now if I go under my authentication controller, here you can see the particular method of create a new account or the login account, that is login method, is access to a particular route. If I go under my authentication routes, here you can see I have a route that is sub URL of sign up and also for login. So what I can do now, I can go under my API and here I can say final string of a sub URL should be equal to slash the particular URL, right? If I go under my app.ts file, here you can see I am listening to a user, and after having the particular URL of user, I have a sub URL called sign up and login, right? So I need to do the same thing. So here I can say user slash sign up for sign up process. So here I can say final URI, which is a class that Flutter that will be giving to you. So here I can say URI dot parse the particular URL. So here what I can do, I can say API URL, that is API routes dot, alright, so we can make this static one, right? So here I can say a base API routes. Okay, so here API routes dot base URL plus the following URL, right? So here I can say sub URL. Okay, so this will be my entire URL. So what I can do, I can add a post request. So for that purpose, I can say final response to be a form of response should be equal to under await state for client that we have created here, HTTP client. I can say here client dot post, and under post, first of all I need to provide my URI, after that some body, and after that some headers, right? So first of all, for body you should be writing JSON encode. We need to encode our entire body. So here under my body we need to pass certain arguments, right? Now the certain arguments will be kind of different one, so I will show you how to do that. So first of all, we should be going under controller class. So here let's go under my auth controller, under my backend, right? So under my backend, you can see here I will be getting the following user input, right? For creating a new account, I need the input of user email, user password, and also username, right? The particular username is submitted under our repository. If I go under the following method, here you can see I am receiving the username and user email, right? So what I can do, I can copy the same exact names. Let's go back, let's close these things so it will be less confusing. So here I can say the username should be equal to the following name, right, that we are providing, and also the following user email should be equal to the following email that we are providing, and after that user password should be equal to the password that we are providing, right? Now we are providing the following things from our arguments, right? We have passed the particular arguments. Now under my headers, I need to add certain headers, and these are the following headers that you need to add, that is content type, accept, and also access, control, allow, origin, right? So this will be everything. So here I can come out my post request method, and here what I can do, I can decode my entire response. So first of all, I can say final status code should be equal to response dot status code, right? And after that I can say final body should be equal to response dot body, right? And after this, what I can do, I can say if status code should be equal to, if the thing is equal to 200, at that time I will be returning my entire response. So here I can say return the body, right? We need to return our entire body. So before returning it, I can also do one thing, that is print my body for now. So let's try to print our body. So to access this method, what I can do, I can create a notifier for it. So to do that, I can go under my that is core folder, and under my notifiers I will be creating a method that is class for notifiers. So here I can say authentication dot notifier dot dart, easy. So here I can say class authentication notifier should be extending with change notifier, right? Because we are using provider, right? So here what I can do, I can first of all get the instance of my API. So here I can say final authentication API underscore authentication API should be equal to a new instance of authentication API, right? So same, I can say future sign up method first, right? And here it will be asynchronous, so let's make it asynchronous. And here I can add a try catch block. So here I can say catch some errors, and here under catching errors I will be simply printing up my error first. So here let's say print my error, right? And under my try block, what I can do, I can say await for authentication API dot sign up. Now I'll be requiring some fields. So what I can do, I can copy the required fields from this side and paste them under my sign up field, right? After having a curly braces, that is hexagons, right? So this should be everything that we shall be require. Let's try it out. So now once I have done this, I need to add this provider, that is this particular provider under my main tree. So under my routes, that is my app folder, I will be getting a folder known as providers, and here let's have a file known as provider.dart. right? So here first of all I can have a list of providers. So here let's have a list of a single child widget, and here I can have the entire list of providers. Now what I can do, there will be different type of providers. So first of all let's have the remote providers, which will be like independent. So here let's have independent providers in easy language, right? So here let's have the same list one more time, having a single child widget. Now this thing will be imported from our provider package, so don't worry about it. So here let's have a remote provider, and this thing will be having a new list. So we can add the following list here. So here let's add a remote provider, right? So under my entire providers I need to add my change notifier provider, right? So you should be watching this video, which somewhere be at the top, for knowing how provider works, right? So here I can say refer following create method over to my provider of authentication notifier, right? So this will be my entire boilerplate thing. What I can do now, I can go under my main method, and here instead of returning my material app under my core stateless widget, I can return here a multi provider, right? And here I can import all the providers that we have just created, and also a new child, right? So here I can have a stateless widget known as lava, and here I can return my entire material app, right? So here we can return this thing, but here I can say it will be having a new child to be lava. Easy. So this should be everything that we shall be requiring, right? So now let's try it out. So let's go under my sign up view, and now I need to cover my UI. So here let's go under my sign up view, and under my sign up view, what I can do, go to my on press button, that is on press button of sign up. I need to use my provider, right? So first of all let's get the instance of provider. So here I can say variable, let's say authentication notifier should be equal to provider dot in of the context, and the context will be nothing but authentication notifier. Here I can say listen to false for now, right? So here I can say authentication notifier dot sign up, right? And here under my name I can say name controller dot text, and here I can say email controller dot text, and similarly under password I can say password controller dot text, right? So this should be our entire method for signing up. So let's try it out, why not? So for trying it out, let's close everything which is not necessary, right? So let's open our terminal. Okay, our server is working over 8000. So let's go over to first of all our API, and here what I can do, I can first of all print my URL. So what I can say print my URI for now for testing one, right? So let's try it out. So here let's open our debug console if we will be getting some values. So here I can create a new user known as, also let's have some password of Robin itself. Let's sign up. Okay, let's go down. Now you can see I am trying to log in from this side, but I am not getting any output. Let's wait for it. Alright, so let's try to print my entire body at the top. So let's add one more time mail.com and also Robin. Let's clear everything. So let's try to sign up. Okay, it should be rocking over 8000, and I guess we have our entire URL here. Okay, so here we are getting the socket exception. I guess we have messed up our entire route. So let's go over to our API route. Okay, instead of having the following slash, we should be having a colon. Let's try it out one more time. Sorry for this error. Let's try it out one more time. No issues. So here I can say Robin, and here I can say Robin at gmail.com, and similarly Robin password. Let's get it out. Let's sign up. Okay, we are still getting the following slash, right? So let's press Ctrl and S, and we should not be getting the following slash but semicolon. So here we should be having, let's try to restart it one more time, right? So let's try it out. For signing up I can say Robin, and here I can say Robin at gmail.com, and here I can say Robin. So let's clear it out first, and let's try to sign up. Now you can see I'm getting my data back, right? I'm getting the following JWT, which is having the big chunk of the JWT, and also I'm getting the value of authentication to be true, right? So what I can do now, if I try to sign up with the same account one more time, here you can see user already exists, right? Because the user already exists under our application, right? Because if I go back under PostgreSQL Explorer, if I refresh items, let's go to Postgres public, and here under our users, if I run top queries, here you can see I will be getting the following user known as Robin, also having his password, right? And if I try to sign up one more time, I will be getting an error because the user already exists, right? User already exists, right? So this is the way of signing up under my application. Let's learn how to log in also. So to do that, we can copy the same method, right? And I can paste it one more time, but here let's have our login method. We don't require a name, but I can remove my name from this side. And now what I can do here, I will be adding a new path of login, right? Now here I don't need to print my response, so we shall be requiring only username and password, right? So what I can do now, I can go back under my notifier, right? I can copy the same method and paste it one more time, but here let's have a different name for it known as login, and also a different name for it under my sign up known as login, right? So here I can remove my required for name one. Easy. So now I can go back under my login view. So let's go to login view, right? Now the same old thing. So I can go back under my sign up view and copy my authentication notifier, right? So here I can go under my login view, paste everything here. Let's import everything. Also provider, why not? So I can copy my authentication notifier, and here under my login I can say login authentication notifier.login. Here it will be requiring an email. So let's have email notifier, that is controller.text. And under my password, I can say password controller.text, right? So this should be our entire method. So let's try to log in also. So to log in, I can enter my same credentials, robin@gmail.com, right? Let's try to check what's happening here, right? And also it's password of Robin. Let's clear everything and let's log in. Now you can see I'm getting my data back. And if I try to add a wrong password, that is only Robbie, and add a login one, here you can see I will be getting a message of wrong password. And also if I say Robin instead of Robbie, and if I send a login request, here you can see it will be saying us user not found, right? Because Robbie, that is ROBN, does not exist under my application, right? So this is the way through which you can authenticate all of your user. Now if you are using your local, that is emulator, instead of a physical device, make sure under my API routes you have got the following route having a colon and the following port, that you are using, right? So I hope this tutorial has helped you for managing the login flow under your Flutter application with the help of backend, right? And if you do so, please hit that like button. It motivates me a lot once you press that like button. So till then, I will see you tomorrow with another great video. Till then, have a good day.